Now here's the next question, of course, is like, how is there more? Because there is more. A lot more. So is it going to be combat scenarios somehow? Or are we still not that deep into this? Because this is already supposed to have torn people's sanity asunder.
Intruder! Get her!
Oh, really?
Don't die now.
Get out of my lore level. You guys don't fit here at all. You guys feel so out of place right now. Go away. You're ruining it. You're ruining it. Ruining it. Ruining it. Ruining it. Ruining it. Also, not doing great things for my supply of explosives. In fact, I need to stop using those now. For a while. Just shoot people the normal way.
I hashed it out with them, what the point of Artemis was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years. So the idea of a reconstituted biosphere, well, it's horrifying, isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to take a best guess at this stuff. But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this, and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to him. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you. Counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want no part of this pathetic, attenuated future on offer. I'm an outdoors man. Never did like the feel of solid-state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe, anyway.
So he's gonna do the work, and then he's just gonna kill himself anyway after the work's done, basically. Huh. So I got ahead of myself, because yeah, of course we kind of know what's gonna happen next, or at least we think we know. But we still need to cover that ground of, like, you know, the part where they actually go through the work of preserving the future. Because all we've done is... all we've seen so far is the promise of doing that. Although because we feel like... because it feels like we already are in the future, then it's like, well, this part almost seems unnecessary. But we'll see if they add some texture to it.
Zero Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale, but there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair. Not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
Yeah, you can't preserve like 100 people out of all the human population fairly. It's not a compatible concept.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute. And just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor. Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn, no ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural to be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
Hard call. Like, not really, I guess. The, like, it's extinction's natural, but this extinction is unnatural. But honestly, humanity's so far removed from nature at this point that even talking about it in terms of what's natural or not is kind of a false premise. What do I not have space for? Oh, healing potions, that's fine.
Power's
That's a
down.
good place to be in.
Is there another route?
I've done this before. Just need my focus.
She'll be easy enough. I can't wait for after I restore power to find exactly 3 more soldiers in the next room again.
Here we go. Another one of these. Need to find the right configuration. There's a part missing.
Hey,
Maybe there's
I'm
a
done with
storage
Brett's
area
incompetence,
nearby.
okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Does that mean the answers are backwards?
I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install
Up,
an H-emitter node
left,
backwards.
down,
Everything's in reverse.
right.
I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me.
That was...
Parker out.
That's weird how that one auto plays, just because, like, all the other ones you manually start playing, this one auto plays on its own, apparently. Is there one over here, too? Yep. They just start glowing? Okay. Which one of you is backwards? Good question. Let's take this one at face value first, and then when it doesn't work, figure out ways of reversing it. And even the question there is the orientation of each one reversed, or are they in reverse order, as in, like, left to right, right to left, as opposed to the actual orientation of the spot being flipped?
Done. I should check the door nearby.
That one worked, but this one doesn't. Still need to find a power cell to continue. Anything stashed back here? No? Not common for me to see my medicine pouch get full in this game. That's neat. Did I open this door back here? No. Seemed like it'd be weird for that to be the case. Oh, this side room over here. Okay. Missed this. They basically decided they gotta sprinkle in some puzzle solving and some random combat moments in order to spread out some of the lore moments.
Found one. Looks intact.
Sometimes games are kind of terrified to just talk for a while. Ah. Well, that's not what I was going for. Alright. Time to return. I don't even know what's on the other side, but it exists, so I should check it out. I was hoping to land on to just walk onto the rope. Let's try this again, but with like a jump, I guess? There we go. Hey! That's a collection of stuff. That'll work for me. Make some more of these. Yep. So is it blaze I need the most of, or is it... I think the left one's canisters and the right one is blaze. So I need more blaze. I finally started running out of it. Make me regret all the times I sold it, huh? 'Cause I always had so much. Just so much. Alright, so you're reversed in some way, if we're gonna go by that.
That should do the trick. Now let's get that door open.
Let's try this first. Let's try doing them all backwards first. So down, right, up, left, down. Alright, so that's not it. Assuming I did it right. Down. See, down, left, up, down. Oops. Sorry, down, right, up, yep. Left, down. Left, yep. Okay, so it's right to left then, probably. So, it's gonna be up, right, down. Up, right, down, left, up. Up, right, down, left, up. Yeah, didn't work. Okay then, so let's just ignore the clue completely and see if it just works regardless, and if that was like about something else completely. Oops, that's already right. Let's see. Up, left, down, right, up. Up, left, down, right, up. Oh, the entire screen is upside down. Look at that, the Pharaoh part's upside down. Okay. That explains things. Okay, so first one is gonna be down. Then left. Oops. Then up. I was rotating individual symbols or doing them in reverse order, but the entire display is upside down. I didn't see the letter at first. It's right, down.
That did it.
There we go.
Door should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Yeah, whoops, completely missed the upside down logo for a while there. Alright, so on our way back out. I'd be a little afraid of running around like this because the floor's wet and slippery, absolutely, at this point. And everything is just rock spikes in every direction. But video game, so I'll sprint when I need to.
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
Seriously, can I use the door they're using? Because they're apparently just walking in here like it's no biggie. That's weird. That was the wrong approach. Whoops. There you go. How you feeling, buddy? Headshot. Oh.
You won't survive this.
Ow. Rude. It really was exactly 3. And now it's exactly 3 again. They keep giving me exactly 3 at a time over and over again. It's so weirdly... It's uninspired. Yeah.
Come on, brother.
I know it's 4 this time. Woo, changing things up. 5, even. I don't know, there's just something really uninspired about jamming enemies into this kind of situation so awkwardly. They felt like a stopgap that was just supposed to, like, interfere for a second. I guess I just prefer it when it feels like an enemy encounter feels like it's a natural inclusion, as opposed to like something that the developers added because they were afraid of not having combat for a while.
They're still looking.
We can't have the climax of our game be a bunch of audio logs. Nobody liked BioShock. Oh wait.
That's the last of them.
Structural failure. Repeat.
Or not.
You know, if you want me to fight like monsters, you want a climax fight in this kind of situation, have the process of unlocking these secrets also involve unleashing a horrible mechanical monster to attack me. Instead of, like, a bunch of boring-ass humans.
Nice.
Bye-bye. You're horribly impaled now. Yay! I guess for me the issue is just human enemies are just... It's the same fight over and over again. They don't change significantly. Every now and then there's like a heavy variant that has like a slightly better weapon. And that's like the amazing variables at play here. Ow. Are you still alive? I really thought that finished him off. Alright, you get the special treatment, dude.
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
We done leveled up again. Oh yeah. Let's fill up the medicine pouch if I can. And how are we doing on skill points? 2. Don't care about the mounts. I'm probably done with Forager Tree. Until I run out of other options if I keep getting points that fast, I suppose. Balanced aim. Yeah, I don't care about either of these things. The jump aim and the rope aiming is just so situational that I don't see myself using those. Leader Strike I could go for. Being able to stealth kill them is kind of handy. Fighting back. Yeah, I don't want to rely on low health. That's just going to get me killed. Bonus arrows could be useful if I... Otherwise we have like longer and shorter rolls, I suppose. Honestly, Quiet Sprint would be kind of nice to have, because it just means that you can run around without alerting people to chase you. And this gives you bonus damage to all of your strikes. Yeah, let's just go for a flat percentage damage increase to these things, the strong strike bonuses. That makes sense, because I do use those all the time, so I'll save up one more point and get that next. There we go. Yeah, the human fights are weird in this game for me.
Can't carry more.
I feel like it's not the reason anyone bought the game. And yet, when you're playing the story, it's like the majority of combat encounters are human fights. And they're just so not interesting, because it's just some dude that he tries to stab you, or he tries to shoot you with the bow, or one out of every group might have like a special weapon. And you just, you know, you hit them in their weak spot, which is their head. Or do some crowd control stuff. And that's about it.
Elevators non-operational. Stairwells have collapsed.
So it's like a weird cross-section when you start to have... it's a juxtaposition that's strange when you hit the point of the game where you're at, like, the most interesting part of the entire story is being coupled with the least interesting part of all of the gameplay. As opposed to, you know, both of them coming together positively. This should be where, like, the good parts of the game come together, but instead of the good part of one part of the game and the bad part of the other part of the game. Like, it's a weird combo. So what's the deal with this thing? It's just holograms? Yeah, that's just a geometric shape. There's a giant door. Right, the whole door is open. Lost track of which direction I came from, didn't I? Yep. Look at this thing. This place is a trip. Simulation results from Margot Shen. Wow. You weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate, but I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional. They feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind. As though she's already mourning their loss. And not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from fossil records too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Margot. So that's our explanation for Gaia making dinosaurs, basically. Is that she goes back through the old logs and makes actual straight-up dinosaurs as a tribute to the lost population, basically. We finally got our lip service explanation to what is the
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulations, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical in places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, Hephaestus has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, the Thunderjaw. I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
So at this point, we're probably going to find out that the plague, the Pharaoh plague, is probably returned. Something about it probably still existed. That might be what happened to Hades ultimately, and that might be what's currently infecting the overall mass and it's probably on its way towards bringing back the exact same extinction again. If we don't stop it. There's the Consular Guardians. We've done that one. Full steam ahead. Margot Shen. Margot. That's it's from Elizabeth Sobek to Margot Shen. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan, add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail. Consult with Iomide Okilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. So any exotic materials needed for the tower should be accounted for in the inventory plan. This is the first thing that needs to be taken care of above all else then. It's just making sure that the actual part that deactivates the machines happens, otherwise it's all moot. So I would not be surprised if my character is some kind of weird reincarnation of Elizabeth Sobek, specifically designed to come into existence when if the Pharaoh plague shows up again, basically when it's supposed to be gone. Someone who might be able to try to fix this kind of thing. It makes some sense. She's obviously has an inclination towards being technical minded. She looks exactly like Elizabeth Sobek, and her age correlates surprisingly closely with the what everyone calls the derangement. We don't know the actual start point of the entire derangement because we don't... It could have started small and gotten bigger over time and would have been unnoticeable at first, possibly, depending on how the hell this whole process works. Which means that their predictions of... Their estimations of when it started may not be entirely accurate. Really? I can't scan that, it's behind a piece of glass. I probably have to specifically enter that room. They don't want me doing them in the wrong order.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
Yep, I'm supposed to get to the... I'm not supposed to be able to scan these until I get inside. That's very intentional. So even though they're so close and I can scan stuff through walls, suddenly I can't.
Clips.
Careful now.
Careful, we wouldn't want to, I don't know, break a nail while almost mindlessly destroying these idiot human enemies.
I wouldn't mind some extra shards.
I wouldn't mind some extra shards. They're just so... They're so stupidly unaware of anything going on around them. It makes them boring, honestly. Like, this isn't like a sinister, villainous force that's interfering with me right now. They're just like... It's like encountering raider assholes. Like, I know they're working for, like, Hades and stuff like that. It's like they're not just random raiders, but... They're so not engaged in what's going on and not aware of what they're doing.
Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
Now that's some insane level stuff going on there. Is the suggestion of like... Let's see, can I find the exact same spot again? That was like a hologram... Oh, crap, you don't... Oh no, you don't count as an entry, so I can't review you in text form, can I? No, but I want to. I want to review you in text form. Ah. Because they're talking about basically... I mean, essentially creating like almost like deities and guides to help primitive humans recapture everything that we've accomplished so far and learn new methods of learning and structure to their entire society. And like everything almost certainly went wrong in certain places, but like if you go through the kind of stuff they were trying to get people to do, it probably would inform elements of like what direction society went in religiously and stuff like that, and like what a lot of the stuff that goes on right now. Also, I can't quite place what's going on with these with the audio here. When I scan one of those things, and it plays like a lot of the stuff that shows up is only visible to me with my focus, right? And only audible to me with my focus, which would be good, because there's enemies in the next room over. But when I play that thing, it echoes in this room, as if it's actually playing in this room out loud, which would be normal for a holographic display to do, but that would alert all the enemies, and I'd be super dead right now, and they're not alerted, so I must think it's in the focus, but then why is my focus echo audio? Is it trying to make it sound like it's naturally in the room with me? Weird.